What's up, High Society Radio listeners? It's your boy Chris from Brooklyn, and we're still in the midst of the coronavirus. It is awful, but what I've decided to do is I've enlisted the help of one Michael Harrington, Cumless Wierdo. So now me and Harrington were talking. We both very much miss professional wrestling and professional MMA. There's none of it right now, right?
There's a huge dearth. Like my Saturday nights, I don't know what to do with them anymore.
So it's kind of like, what do you do? We decided we're going to find a new sport to watch. This way we could go back and watch it with crowds. That's a thing of the past now. But it's something we've both been meaning to get into. I feel like we've talked about it and just never actually watched it because all right, so 2 weeks ago, there was too much content. Now, there's no content. Like, everybody is looking for a fix right now. You know what I mean? Like, we all feel like content is fading. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a month ago, there was too much shit to watch. Now it's like I can't watch Monday Night Raw without people in the stands.
It's weird. It's so weird. I've also burned through like all the stuff I've been meaning to catch up on. Like, people were telling me, "Oh, you got to check out Tiger King." Cool. That was one day. I've been in quarantine for a week and a half. I'm out of things.
Yeah. We're running low. So we decided we're gonna do a watch along. The same way we would do it when we watch. We do it when we do what NXT Takeover. We've done a bunch of those. We did the last Ruiz fight. We've done a few fights for your Patreon page, for your Twitch channel. So we decided for the High Society Radio YouTube channel, we're going to watch Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, correct?
Hell yeah.
Now, some of these fighters, I know Paulie Malignaggi did one. That's pretty much, and I know Bigfoot Silva did one.
Sure.
And, so there are some legitimate boxers and fighters that have done these bare knuckle fights, right?
Yeah, I mean, the one that we are going to watch today is BKFC 1, which is headlined by former UFC heavyweight champion Rico Rodriguez.
Okay. So that's a former UFC heavyweight champion. Now, did he have a poor career and that's why he ended up here, or is it just a new sport and they're throwing some money around?
So I think more so than anything with Rico, he just had a long career. He was all over the place. Like he fought in Japan, he fought in the UFC for quite some time. He fought in Pride, he fought in wherever. So I think basically, the guy's 42 years old now. Anytime a new organization comes around, they got to get Rico Rodriguez in there for a fight or two.
I see. All right. So now the rules are different than traditional boxing, correct?
Correct. So in Bare Knuckle FC, they hold all bouts in a circular 4-rope ring referred to as the squared circle, something you're familiar with from wrestling. The ring incorporates elements of historical bare knuckle fighting by containing 2 scratch lines 3 feet apart in the middle of the ring. These scratch lines are based on the Broughton rules, which governed bare knuckle fighting in the 19th century. It is a requirement that each fighter must start each round with their front foot on the scratch line. This is referred to as toe the line. It is an instruction given to the fighters at the beginning of each round, followed by knuckle up, which signals the beginning of the round.
So this is back when the Butcher was fighting in Gangs of New York, right? They're going to fight. I feel like just the way you described this, they're going to fight like the Fighting Irish logo from Notre Dame.
Just the fucking. The Bill the Butcher, setting up those fights in Gangs of New York is the perfect example. We're talking about back when guys would go 100 rounds and shit like that until one guy just couldn't get up anymore.
Well, can we talk about one real quick thing? Is it makes no sense to call it a squared circle. The reason why a wrestling ring is called a squared circle is because the wrestling ring is a square, but rings are round. So if you have a round ring, it would be the round circle.
Yeah, but I think it is some kind of goofy, it's not quite a circle. Like, I think it's a circle, but then there's like straight lines. The ropes make straight lines in the, you know what I mean?
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and it's also, if I'm not mistaken, I could be completely off base on this because I've only seen bits and pieces. So far, the only Bare Knuckle FC that I've ever seen is bits and pieces of the Artem Lobov versus Jason Knight fight and the Artem Lobov versus Paulie Malignaggi fight. And if I'm, like I said, I think there's like some kind of a weird like angle so that they are more prone to fighting like in the center of the ring, but I could be mistaken about that.
Okay. So you're going into this cold. I'm going into this cold. We're both going into this cold. We're going to watch some of these fights. And I feel like I've heard good things about it. It's just, like I said, 2 weeks ago, too much content. Today, not enough content.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, right, I would be sitting here on a Wednesday night. We'd have, BYM to get prepared for tomorrow. We would have, we were going to have Ngannou versus Rosenstrike this weekend, which may get moved to that UFC 249 card in April now. We would have, I'd be coming off the UFC London card from the weekend before. There was going to be
that card.
Like there was so much fighting content that I never did have the time to go back and watch stuff like this. Now, I mean, I'm just looking at this headline here for the first fight we're going to watch. It's called Bloodiest Fight of 2018, ! BKFC 1, Tony Lopez versus Joey Beltran. That is available for free on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship's YouTube page.
Okay, so what people are going to do, we're going to tell you when to hit play. We're going to hit play. What you do is you go turn that video on, you turn off their commentators, and you listen to your boys. And you're watching a fight with your friends, which is what you need right now in the age of social distancing. Ready to go?
Yes, sir. All right, I'm at the 0-0 mark of, once again, that video is called The Bloodiest Fight of 2018, BKFC 1, Tony Lopez versus Joey Beltran, available on the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship YouTube page. I'm hitting play in 3, 2. All right. So I'm assuming that is – okay, that's Joey Beltran. Okay, well, that's a surprise to me.
Mike.
What's up?
You have to hit share screen.
Oh, I didn't know you were. I thought you were going to be doing it as well. All right, my bad. Bong bong. Well, now we're going to be watching it like this the whole time.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, but then I can't. It quite. You want to just put this out?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can alter it. Nate said there's a way to do it.
What do you mean?
You can fix it so that you don't put it out like this.
Dog, what is good with this guy's
What is all the Pornhub tabs you have open?
Yeah, oh yeah, fuck. I meant to shut those down. Dude, I got that free month.
Hold on. Let's reslate this. Just pause this. Close those tabs.
You really want me to? I'm keeping those tabs open. I'll open a new window, but I'm not closing those tabs.
They're in your browser history.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I could get no. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving them open. Open link in new window. Can you still see? Can you see this new window now?
No, you have to share that window.
Okay.
You have to share the screen, so you have to open the screen. There you go.
Okay, so stop sharing. So you want to do?
If you want, I can just pull the fight up.
No, this should be. I think it makes more sense to do it like that though, because this would be. All right, we are both at the 0-0 mark. You should be too if you're watching along at home. Starting in 3, 2. All right, so that is Joey Beltran, right?
He's not the most intimidating looking man. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, but as far as like between the two, it's weird that they're putting like when they put fights in there, they put MMA for both men. Combined 110 fights between the two of them. Jesus, 120
for Tony Lopez. Jesus Christ.
So I just pulled up Tony Lopez's share dog here. He is 62-32 over the course of those 80. It's now 84 fights. Sorry, 94 fights. So he's had 12 fights since 2018, which is just absolutely crazy. He is.
So here's the thing. Let me just. I've seen some clips from this since this started. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys don't even have tape on their knuckles. Now they're taped up. Now there's a crowd. BKFC 1. This is like a gym. They just paid for a custom ring.
Yeah, it is. It is very odd. I know that, like, I think this was done in Wyoming, right? So there was like I think this was the first legal bare knuckle fight on U.S. soil in like 100 years or something like that.
Well, Wyoming was the first state to legalize it, and then New Hampshire was second, correct?
I'm not exactly sure. I think that the tape that you're talking about came about when they tried to do a fight in Florida, and the Florida Athletic Commission said, no, you can't go in there with bare hands. You have to have some kind of a cover, at least for your knuckles, to make sure that like you're not just breaking your hand immediately upon impact.
Well, isn't that the whole point about this? Where it's like you can kind of reduce concussions because these guys shouldn't want to shatter their hands.
Right, so you can't
Here
throw as hard.
Up to the scratch line.
Okay.
Now this is a round ring. There isn't any corners.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it the squared circle. I do like just how close they make them get to each other to start the fight, and especially Lopez just has that insane reach. I don't know why he isn't just pumping the jab as soon as the round starts.
Old. This honestly does look like
Shang Tsung versus Kano.
Yeah, Shang Tsung. Yeah, but now.
Oh man. So Joey Beltran, I was looking him up earlier. Former UFC fighter, fought the likes of Stipe Miocic, Matt Mitrione. Has fight of the night bonuses against. I was just looking it up a second ago. Got a fight of the night bonus, I think, in his fight with Matt Mitrione. Looked like he was on the losing end of a lot of those fights. However, very, very entertaining fighter. Stayed with the company for quite some time.
I mean, this is already this is a slugfest.
These guys are getting it in.
Yeah.
Like, I think that idea of like, like what, like I'm picturing it now, right? Like Masvidal running from across the cage with the flying knee is probably the coolest thing I'm ever going to see in combat sports. However, this ain't bad. Just having these guys fighting in a phone booth essentially this entire fight.
Well, again, this is their first main event, right?
Yes. No, this is not the main event. The main event for this night was Rico Rodriguez, which they don't have available as a free fight online. And I didn't want to steal any content. Also, this is labeled the most bloody fight, so I figured this is the people's main event. This does look like it's in a VFW hall somewhere in Wyoming, though. Oh, big knockdown.
Oh, yeah, that is yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. No follow-ups to the ground. It is still like boxing in that sense, standing 10 count?
Yeah. The return of the standing 10 count is probably that's something that people miss from boxing. This is kind of like the XFL of boxing. Okay,
a little bit. I like that the trainer just handed him the water. Like, it's not even, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's not like they had they didn't have trainers here.
Ooh, I just had an ad pop up. Did you have an ad pop up?
Yeah, I have an ad pop up. So
all right, so if anybody's watching at home from this link, they probably had an ad pop up. Just skip the ad. I am watching ice being rubbed on Joey Beltran's chest right now, and the recap of, I'm assuming, ooh, that nice little short right on the chin. Bink puts him on his ass.
Just got right inside too.
Mm-hmm.
There's something interesting about this because it is kind of like watching. Like one of the fights on, like, if you go to reddit.com/r/fight porn.
Okay. You're probably more familiar with it than I am, but I'm assuming those are just like bar fights or whatever?
No, first of all, some of it is just like kickboxing or whatever people find and put up. But then there's a lot of street fights too. But it does kind of just look like just the way that right comes in. It just looks like kind of one of those things where you're just like, oh, okay, this just became a real fight.
Right, and it's like that right, like you could see, like he's not really twisting his hips, he's not throwing much behind it, it's not a crazy power shot. It was almost like a similar short right to what DC used to put Stipe down. All right, and I guess this knuckle up. There we go. God, that is lame. Saying knuckle up to start each round is just lame.
Especially since they both didn't start with closed fists.
I kind of like Beltran is. I don't know really what he's doing here. Like there's a lot of pawing. I don't know. It feels like
he's trying to get inside. I think that's kind of an interesting thing about this is you can really, because there seems to not be a rule against smacking someone's hand away. Whereas, like, you can't pull that off with boxing gloves on. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, there's also way less, like, the other thing, like, I've noticed this just training for my boxing match with Dylan, like, so much more so than I did for my fight with Lewis, like, just how much surface area boxing gloves protect. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to get through two boxing gloves if they're up. Versus, like, Tony had both of his hands up there, and you can see he's still he's getting through fairly easily. Oof. Big shots to the side of the head. Joey going to the body here. All right, so what are they breaking him up for? Is that just like you can't clinch in this at all? Must be, right?
Yeah.
Damn, Joey with the big uppercuts there. This is feisty.
Yeah, for sure.
I just feel like I don't know how, like, both these guys look like they – oh, no. I was going to say both of these guys look like they should be gassed, but they're not. And then I saw Tony just suck and win.
Yeah. I mean, they're older guys. I feel like it must have been hard to get people that were into – anybody with a credible name that was into this, like, that was, like, down to do this from jump. You know what I mean? First of all, you got to go to Cheyenne, Wyoming. No matter where you're coming from. No matter where you're coming from, if you're going to Cheyenne, Wyoming, you have to connect. There's no direct flights. It's harder to get to than Thailand.
You think there's even direct flights from within Wyoming to Cheyenne?
Where else would there be an airport in the state of Wyoming? Name another place in Wyoming that isn't a park or a rock.
No, Jackson Hole.
That's a hole.
That's a hole. You prick. No, I feel like that's where most people would fly into. I do actually want to look up Wyoming. And I want to see if there is an international airport.
There's no way there's an international airport in Wyoming.
Oh, gotcha. Casper/Natrona County International Airport, KCPR. And there is a Cheyenne Regional Airport. So, yeah.
Because it flies to fucking Canada.
Yeah, that's got to be it. That makes it international, is because it flies over the border.
They just don't recognize California as a state.
Oh, man. Too many liberals out there. All right, again. Dude, so see, Joey's got his foot over the toe line here. I'm wondering what that deal is. Like,
I think your foot just has to be on it, so you can be over it. Your foot just has to be on the toe line.
I wonder if guys could just go, like, what if you go both feet above, like, past the toe line and just get right up in his face?
I think the idea is you have to have one foot on it and then one foot set back towards the scratch line.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's that little circle. All right. Huh. This is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Everything about this has been entertaining throughout. I mean, this feels way more like human cockfighting than the UFC, if I'm being honest. But
of course it does. Look at they're in a round that could easily be made of chicken wire. That ring.
Yeah. Joey does keep coming up with that open hand, which I'm interested in how they would like.
I'm wondering how many strikes in both of these guys realized that they had to not hit as hard. You know what I mean? Because even MMA gloves pad your hand.
Do you think here's the God's honest question: how much training do you think these guys do with bare knuckles?
That's another thing. You're probably training in MMA gloves, and then you're just taking them off, like when Piccolo throws off the weighted tunic. What is that called? A tunic?
Tunic, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's. Yeah, I guess it's so weird trying to prep for one of these, right? Because, like, do you think maybe they do MMA gloves but take out, like, half the padding?
No, because you can't damage your hands before you go into this. You might even be doing small, like, thin boxing gloves. Like, they sell bag gloves that are thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like you still do need to get a sense of how hard I can hit before I'm going to –
I guess you also got to get the idea of your distance because your distance has got to change.
Sure.
Well, I guess these guys are both MMA fighters, but I'm saying the guys coming from classic boxing into this, You know what I mean? Your reach is going to change by like an
Ooh! Oh God, Joey getting him.
Ooh, ooh,
So
ooh.
it looks like the plum clinch is allowed in this?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
God damn, this is brutal. Oh my God.
Oh jeez. Oh
Dude,
jeez.
he is just knocking that bald spot bigger.
Oh. Yeah, he's pushing his fucking hairline back.
Oh, dude, did you see Tony's whole jaw just vibrate when he caught that shot to the left-hand side?
Oh.
He's so bloody. He's so bloody. What are they calling time for? Are they having a doctor look at him?
Oh, that might be why. Yeah. Yeah, they're bringing in a doctor. Luckily, it's really just a barber because this is Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's still the Old West out there. This Dr. Quinn medicine woman's going to come in with her petticoats.
He's also the town's taxidermist and herbologist.
Yeah.
Oh. So do you think that's a doctor, or is that just was the ref just like, yeah, you need to see a cut man?
Yeah, right?
Because that literally is Stitch.
Oh,
isn't that it says Stitch on his glove? I'm assuming that's Stitch. Legendary.
That's crazy that they'll stop a fight that's brutal.
What, stopping a fight to fix a cut?
To fix a cut to let the fight continue?
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, I guess they were probably saying, if we can stop this, you can still fight. You know what I mean? If they couldn't stop the bleeding, and then just right back to it. Jesus.
Dude,
so you know what's crazy is you can kind of tell this is the third round. In the beginning, these guys didn't know how the hell this was going to go, and now they're just like, "Oh, we're in a fight. This is a fight. We're just doing what we do."
Right, like the feeling out process did feel like it took until Tony got put on the ground in that first round.
Yeah.
Like that's when that feeling out process was over.
Now they're both very into this.
Yeah, that's Jacob Duran. That's Stitch. He was just fixing Lopez's cut. Now he's over working on. This is crazy. Why is Stitch working on both fighters?
I mean, they could only afford one. I mean, come on.
He is arguably the best in the business. I don't know why. Do you know the story of why he was fired from the UFC?
No, I have no idea.
So I just know that he was, and a lot of fighters were pissed off about it. I just don't know why. Comments he made about the organization's Reebok sponsorship deal. Oh,
so he was sticking up for fighters, and they fired the guy that the fighters like to work with for sticking up for fighters. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, he was mad good in Warrior, though.
I never watched that movie, but he's in Creed as well. He's in a lot of movies.
Yo, you never seen Warrior? How are we not doing a High Society Radio watch along for Warrior? I feel like that is so up your alley.
Yeah, we definitely could.
God, that movie's so good. I've seen it like 10 times.
Yeah, but you also like Rounders.
Yeah, Rounders mad good, son. I mean, honestly, you would fucking there is some scenes in Warrior you would fucking hate, but it also is probably the most realistic MMA movie ever made. And by realistic, I mean it's not at all, but it's like it does kind of capture what MMA feels like.
It's probably like that one and then the one with Kevin James, right? Those are the two.
No, I mean like Red Belt was like not terrible. Never Back Down is not the worst thing I've ever seen, but you know.
No Holds Barred.
Which one's No Holds Barred?
That's Hulk Hogan and Zeus.
Oh, you're the worst. God. Looked like Tony was putting on a bit of offense here to start this, and now he's just shelling up, trying to looks like he's just trying to survive.
Yeah. He wants to get out of the first bare knuckle fight that he's in.
I mean, are you sure this is the first bare knuckle fight he's in? He's had 12 fights since this. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if this guy was fighting like either illegal bare knuckle fights in the U.S. or like bare knuckle fights in like Taipei.
Oh, I'm sure he's had yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, somewhere in Thailand. Yeah, that's probably true. But I would think that they would add that to the bottom of his record. Oh, I guess not if they're illegal, huh?
A, not if they're illegal. B, if like like Frankie Edgar apparently fought in like the first ever like MMA fight in New York, but it doesn't go on his record because it was an illegal smoker. Like shit like that is like just like lore. It's like fighter lore that may or may not be true. Or maybe it was an amateur fight for Frankie. I'm not sure. God
Well,
damn, he's so bloody, and he's still going for – ooh, Tony coming alive to end the 4th round. I mean –
oh, wow. This is an entertaining fight, man.
This is fucking awesome. So, like I was saying earlier, I was wondering how Tony – oh, shit! Oh, his face is fucked up. Earlier in this fight, I was asking how Tony wasn't just using his reach to piece apart Joey from the outside, because it's not like Joey can do much to work his way inside. There's no threat for a takedown there. So especially in a sport like this, like you'd think that the bigger man could control, could dictate the pace of the fight, and that seemed to be how it was towards the end. Ooh, big body shot, another one. A third one, and maybe that's why Joey is sucking wind so hard from the stool there.
Yeah, that looks like it did not feel good.
So, like, it looks like most of those shots were hitting Tony's forearms, but some of those were slipping through, whereas in MMA or even in boxing, that wouldn't be.
Yeah, it wouldn't get through.
That's got to be such a weird thing to account for too. Like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm blocking, like, you know. These guys.
That's another thing you can't train for, right? Because you don't want to get hit in the face with bare knuckles a week before a fucking fight.
Sure. Yeah, this is very. I don't know how you would prep for these.
So this is the kind of thing. This is what I'm thinking. Is I'm kind of curious. That it's
giant uppercut, giant left hook. Oh my god, dude, this is fucking crazy. It's the 5th round. These guys are exhausted, and they're just swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
I don't think either man wants to just make it anymore. I feel like both guys want to knock the other one out. Sorry, you were saying, Chris?
It probably feels more like a regular fight. But what I was saying is what I'm interested in, and this is why I wanted to start with the earlier fights, is I want to watch as this progresses and see how the game plan changes. So, like, by the time we're done with this, right, by the time we're done watching the free fights, I imagine because there's no tape to watch for any of these guys. This is BKFC 1, right?
Yeah. And there is also so to give you an idea, this is one of the quarterfinals of the heavyweight tournament that they did. So this is so BKFC 1 especially was focused on the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they really did like make a name for themselves with the Malignaggi fight and Artem Lobov, which, you know, those guys are 170, 155, obviously much smaller guys. So even the tape that they'd have at this point coming out of this is not going to be that beneficial to them, because I don't know. I feel like fighting a heavyweight fight is much different than fighting a lightweight fight.
No, but it's the kind of thing where you might not be thinking about it going in. Just the amount that the boxing gloves cover versus, or even just the MMA gloves.
Right. I guess conceptually
look how much they've slowed down.
Dude, this is crazy.
Last 10 seconds of this fight.
But Joey he's still very aggressive. Yeah. He's still in there swinging. Like, I mean, they're going at like 25% speed, but they're going for it. Dude, I love how Tony went for the hug and Joey was like, nah, fuck you. You fucked my face up.
I mean,
dude, this is fucking all right. So obviously you got the knockdown in the first round for Joey. I feel like Tony really didn't. At no point did Tony mount any kind of credible offense outside of that giant flurry at the end of round 4. I think this is a pretty one-sided decision for Joey Beltran. Has to be, right?
I think pretty obviously it's a one-sided decision. But let's say this. I think the last 2 rounds could have gone either way.
All right, that's fair. All right, we got an ad coming up in 2, 1. All right, so give us 5 seconds, skip that shit, and then we will get to the decision of Tony Lopez versus Joey Beltran from BKFC 1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a big part of me that I remember the big flurry early on from Joey, and the fact that Joey was still swinging towards the end of round 5. I mean,
it's a 5-round boxing match. That one knockdown means so much more than in a 12-round boxing match. You know what I mean?
That's true. I also feel, I mean, for me, that first round has to go to Joey. That 5th round goes to Joey. I think you could make a case for round 4 to Tony, but other than that, I think it's a clean sweep for Joey Beltran here. Jesus.
Yeah. Oof. I think even just the stoppage with the cut.
Oh.
I mean, he just looked dominant the whole time.
Dude, I think the most painful part of watching that in that replay was at one point Tony just gives the crown of the head and Joey just winds up and takes a big shot. Like, that had to hurt all the way up his forearm and into his elbow.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that white shit in his hair?
It's Giz.
Oh, it's got to be like that Vaseline. Dude, with the hair, like what are you doing? You're balding, it's thinning. Like, why are you it's hurting your fight career. Like, yeah. He's taken 12 fights between this fight and he's taken 12 MMA fights between this and in 2020 here. Why don't you just shave your head?
He's fighting every 2 months.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, I'm sure a guy like him who's, when you see 82 fucking professional fights or whatever, I'm sure a guy like that, is not fuck every 2 months. Like, he's probably been in fights where he's done like 3 in one night, fights in back-to-back weekends.
3 in one night.
I'm just saying, the old, old Grand Prix rules, you can go 3 in one night.
Oh, yeah, true.
They called it a draw?
No, they haven't called it yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
How does that – all right, so what – all right.
Hold on.
So I guess it's a majority draw?
That's crazy.
Wait, so I guess 2 judges gave it a draw, and the 3rd judge is going to give it to Beltran.
Oh, okay. That's how they're doing it.
This makes no sense. Okay, so this is interesting. This was actually an alternates fight. So, here, let me look this up here. This is the heavyweight tournament alternate. So, if either man was unable to go after, like for any of the other quarterfinalists, it was Arnold Adams versus DJ Linderman, Maurice Jackson versus Dale Soppy, and Rico Rodriguez versus Louis Rummy. And Sam Shoemaker versus Eric Prindle. If any of those guys weren't able to make their next fight, the winner of this fight would move on in the tournament. So it looks like that's the case here.
Okay.
Yeah, so Joey Beltran gets the win here. Damn.
Well, that was the first one of these we've done. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Hopefully people liked watching with us. I guess we'll keep doing these. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully people enjoy them.
Gives an excuse to watch BKFC. You've been looking for an excuse to watch grown men hit each other a whole bunch.
I'm sure. Look, there's crowds. So you can see it with a crowd as opposed to it weirdly without a crowd.
Yeah, if you want, just turn the volume up a little bit just so you can hear the like, so you can see violence and people reacting to it again. It's nice.
Exactly. All right. Well, this has been the first episode of Chris and Harrington watch men beat the shit out of each other. It's the working title. It was really just an excuse for me and Harrington to hang out over Zoom because I made Ralph give me one of the corporate accounts as well. But I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you follow the M Harrington on Twitter and Instagram, correct?
Yes, sir.
Follow me at Chris from BKLYN. Follow the show at HS Radio Show on Twitter. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Good night. All right. Well, Harrington, I think what we need to do going forward